Hello and welcome back to the channel, and Happy New Year to all my subscribers, all my viewers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the comments, the likes, the subscriptions and the views. Everything helps and it just makes things worthwhile for me, and I'm looking forward to 2023 with you guys and girls as well. I really am. Okay, so this is the Queen Bee Awards. If you've been watching my channel, if you watch any of my content at all, it's all surrounded around the bees. Bramall Backroom Brewery, Triple B. We've got the bees in the background, connection to the Manchester and industrial working, and yeah, it's just a little bit of like proud to be living where I'm living and that connection as well. And it's I just use them bees. So everything you see, the bees, my scoring, the Triple B, the what do I go off? Right, if you got a sting in the tail, it's not so good. You got me buzzing, that's a good beer. If it's a bee's knees, Triple B, it's fantastic beer, really outstanding beer. That's how I score. So let's get on with it. So that's why I've called them the Queen Bee Awards for this 2022 Queen Bee Awards. And it's just following on, I've seen some other YouTubers do their top beers, top cask beers. Slurpy Dave's, go and check him out, fantastic. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to look at things as well over 2022, beer related, from the channel and from my experiences as well. So let's get on with it. So first one, Cask. What was my Cask beer of the year? Now, I love Track Sonoma on Cask, but there was one beer this year that wowed me, and it was back in, no, not this year, in 2022, sorry, I'm doing this in 2023. There was one beer in 2022 on Cask which absolutely wowed me, blew me away. And this list is about beers that have either wowed or breweries that have wowed me, something that just made me stand back. And this beer was Winston's Old Peculiar on wooden cask. And I couldn't believe it. And it got me back into revisiting supermarkets and revisiting bottled beers, because I was a bit of a snob. I'd had beers in the past, and the bottled beers in supermarkets have sort of snubbed and thought, oh, they're probably not going to be that good. I had this and that, thought that light bulb moment, and I thought I need to do some sort of series on the channel of Trad Tuesdays. Well, that's what I came up with, Trad Tuesdays, looking at traditional brewers, traditional beers. A lot of them are in supermarkets. So Theakston's Old Peculiar on Cask was my Cask beer of 2022. It was amazing. The flavours, the body, it was rich. It's also inspired me to brew an old ale in the style of Old Peculiar. I just thought it was that good. It really was. So that's actually going into a local homebrew comp soon. But the inspiration came from that drink on that day in June, from that wooden cask in that pub. It was wow. So there you go. Theakston's Old Peculiar back in June 2022 on wooden cask. Cask beer of the year. Okay, next one, Can. Now this is another one. I had this in early 2022, and this came from Lord's Brewing, and this was their Silver Spur. And again, it was a wow beer, because that beer, it was the flavours. They wowed me. It was a bitterness. It was amazing. It was just so much going on in that can that I thought, wow. And I had a couple in 2022. Asvex was another one. There was quite a few. Track had some. Red Willow, Marble, Cloudwater. But this one from Lords just still stays in my mind. They're going, why did I really like that? And it was this bitterness. It was this flavour. It was a beer that I could basically enjoy most days. So it's just one I could return to. So Lords Brewing, Can of the Year, Silver Spur. Absolutely fantastic beer in a can. Next one, Bottle. Now this one is local to me, and it's a bottle from Torside Brewing in New Mills, and it was their Candlewick Stout. Now again, this was another one of them beers that was like, now when I was drinking it, I thought, this is a proper stout. This is a stout. It was amazing. It had all the dark fruit flavours. It had this smoky, it had roastiness. It just had the bitterness. It was all balanced. It was creamy. It was superb. And that was bottle conditioned. And that was fantastic brewing. It really was a fantastic beer to have in a bottle. And that was Candlewick Torside. And I've also had that on Cask. And it's also a fantastic beer on Cask. But it didn't do as well as Theakston's Old Peculier on cask. So the bottle goes to Torside Brewing with a Candlewick Stout. Superb, it really was. Brewery. So the Brewery in 2022, which I would give the Queen Bee Award to, is, you're probably going to know this, Red Willow. I got the opportunity to go there with some of my mates from Brew Club, and we brewed a beer with them, and they were fantastic. It showed me how hard it is to work in a brewery, and the effort, everything involved. You've got to be spot on all the time, consistent. And Red Willow, as a brewery, to me, have been the most consistent beers I've had in 2022. I've had a lot of Red Willow beers in 2022, and the consistency was absolutely fantastic. They didn't drop one level, they just carried on going, and the beers I was having from them in cans and on keg and cask were absolutely superb. So Red Willow, and also for that day, that experience, they've got the Brewery Queen Bee Award for me for 2022. Red Willow, well done. Newcomer, best brewery newcomer for me. Well, I didn't come across this brewery until I think it was August 2022, and they've been going a little while, and they didn't at that time didn't have a tap room. And I went to Track Beer Festival in Manchester, and I tried a beer from Sure Shot. Now, Sure Shot Brewery to me are the best newcomer brewery that I've had in the last year. They might not be a newcomer to everyone, but to me they're a newcomer. They're new to me, and I was tasting the beer, and I said to this chap, I said, this reminds me of how Cloudwater beers used to be back in 2015-16. And he said, well, you do know that the head brewer that used to be at Cloudwater is the head brewer at Sure Shot. And I thought, wow, it just shows you that them head brewers can go to another brewery and be outstanding and remind you they have a signature, and that signature carried over to Sure Shot. So Sure Shot Brewing in Manchester, they have got to be my newcomer Queen Bee Award, because their beers are fantastic. I've got some beers to do. There'll be some coming up on the channel 2023. I'm really looking forward to it. And also they've opened a tap room in November 2022, so I'll be going there as well. Got to visit that place. So there you go, Sure Shot for the newcomer. Then the best experience for me in 2022, the best experience, I'm talking about the best experience I had in a pub or a tap room. And it was quite close, because I went to a few pubs. I've been down to Dorset, some pubs down there, obviously my locals. And I went to Runaway. They had a little tap room going in local to me. Went there just before Christmas, and that was absolutely fantastic. But the best experience I had in 2022 was back in August again, and that was Track's Welcome to the Neighbourhoods Beer Festival at the Track Tap Room. That was outstanding. Trying lots of different beers from Track, from other breweries like Sure Shot, Cloudwater, Blackjack, lots of different breweries. Rivington was there, and that experience that day has got to be my 2022 Queen Bee Award for the best experience of 2022. Track Brewing, Tap Room, Beer Festival. Superb, really was. Okay, moving on to Homebrew for me. So my favourite beer that I brewed last year. This is a close one again. There's a few there that I enjoyed. I always feel like there's room for improvement on all my homebrews. And there was the Fab Golden Ale. That was a great beer. We enjoyed that on the Fab show. There was the ESB, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed brewing it, first time I brewed it as well. And then there's my winner, for me, the best beer, or the best tasting beer I had last year that I brewed, and I'm going to rebrew and maybe tweak the recipe like I would with any of them, was my Dark Mild. I really enjoyed it. I got some flavours in there that I was really pleased with. It was 4.7. It was in the dark mild character. Had some toffee, some chocolate, tiny little bit of coffee in there from them dark malts, but it wasn't a stout, it wasn't a porter, it was a mild. It was mildly hopped. It was only 4, I think it was 4.7, so going up a bit on the ABV, but it had lots of flavours, and it was really quite a sessionable drink, and I really enjoyed brewing it. I will brew it again, and that's got to be my Queen Bee homebrew of 2022. Really, really enjoyed that. And dark milds, or any milds, I've been really enjoying. That brings me on to the next one. My favourite style, which I drank in 2022. I had lots of styles in 2022. Tried some sours, tried IPAs, tried bitters, ESBs. I've tried, obviously, saisons. But my favourite style that I drank in 2022 has to be dark mild. It was, I really enjoyed dark mild. And last year I got the chance to try Red Willow's dark mild. I got Marble's dark mild, my own dark mild, and there's a few others which I can't quite remember when I've been out on having them on cask. But dark mild just, like I say, inspired me to brew my own mild. I used to enjoy milds when I was younger. It used to be the beer I'd go to rather than the lagers. It'd be a dark mild or a bitter, but it was always like a dark mild, Bass dark mild. I used to really enjoy them. So to come across them again in 2022 and really enjoy them, and inspired me to brew as a home brewer, a dark mild was fantastic. I don't think you don't really see dark milds. There's not many of them. Wish there was more of them, or mild of any sort. And homebrewers, again, there's not many. You don't see many dark milds or milds out there from a homebrewer. So it was good to actually get on and do that beer. So that was the Queen Bee for me. So that's it. That's 2022 Queen Bee Awards. Go on and Queen Bee, because I can and because of the bee connection. And just wanted to go through them categories of the like I said, the cask, the can, the bottle, the brewers, the homebrew, the experience that I've had in 2022 with beer. And there we go. That's it. Okay, like I said, Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for subscribing. Thank you for viewing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like the content, that is. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. And I'll see you on the next one.